This video is going to be a little more casual today because I just want to talk to you mom to mom. We're going to talk about formula, not because it's bad, not because I want to scare you, but because I know what it feels like to not want to use it and to be afraid to say it out loud. When I had my first baby, I went back to work after 4 months and tried to make pumping work. We had worked so hard on getting breastfeeding going, and I had a full milk supply by the time I went back to work, which I was super proud of. I had a pump. It was a hand-me-down at the time, which I didn't know that was a problem, but not a great option. But I had my own office, I had a schedule, I had a great milk supply, and I was doing everything I thought was right. But slowly, my pumping output started dropping. Around 6 months, the daycare told me that they needed more milk. Not because my baby was suddenly hungrier, but because I wasn't sending enough. To be honest, I was devastated. My first baby, I wanted this so bad. I ended up just telling our care provider, just supplement with formula if you need to, but I don't want to know how much. I chose to cope by kind of just avoiding it and trying not to think about it. So I would send what I could, and then I trusted her to fill in the gaps. And while I was really grateful that formula was there, it just wasn't what I wanted. I felt like a failure. My logical brain knew I was doing so much and that a little formula was going to help him thrive at his daycare, but I was pumping every 2 hours and breastfeeding was going great on the weekends and the evenings. I had the milk supply. I just didn't understand why I couldn't pump it out. It made no sense to me. And even though I was trying everything I knew how to do at the time, I couldn't keep up. I remember even feeling guilty for feeling bad about formula because formula's good. It saves babies. And I was thankful it existed, but I still felt heartbroken and I bottled it up. I was too embarrassed to admit how much I cared about breastfeeding. I think even to myself, okay? My husband, he is sweet and supportive, but he didn't really understand why I was so upset, and honestly, neither did I. But it mattered to me. Breastfeeding mattered to me, and I wanted to give my baby the best shot at health. I wanted to do something biologically normal, and I wanted to be enough. Honestly, I didn't really want to be at work, so I think a lot of that was tied up in guilt around even leaving my baby and not being able to feed at the breast, which is what I wanted to do anyway. I was a school nurse at that time, and I actually ended up quitting after that school year, and I've never returned to the workforce, largely because that experience was not fun for me. My baby's fine, everything's fine, but I didn't like it. Why this matters. I had a call recently with a mother who was considering joining our program, and her partner was on too. And he actually said something that really struck me. He said, I don't really understand the benefits of breast milk. I know it's important to her, but I feel so guilty when we have to give formula because I know it's not what she wants. But what am I supposed to do? There's not enough breast milk. It really doesn't matter either way to me, so I feel stuck. And it struck me, how many of us are carrying these kind of quiet battles, even partners, which I thought was really interesting. The guilt, the uncertainty, the desire for something different than what we're told we should just accept. And this is why I do what I do now. That experience, feeling out of control, unsupported, and so frustrated, led me to specialize in helping working mothers pump efficiently, to understand pumping as a totally different skill from nursing. Because nobody told me that. I don't think anyone knew it at the time. It was 11 years ago. But some help with pumping would have allowed me to provide my first baby with 100% breast milk while I still fulfilled my work responsibilities. And my career might look different today if I was able to make choices knowing that I could get the milk out. Honestly, I can do whatever I want now. I know how to do it at this point. But it really did lead me to being in this place and to helping mothers in the way that I do. I don't want another mother to feel as lost and confused and frustrated as I did. It was not fun. So here's what I want to say to you. Formula is not poison. Formula saves babies, all right? We will never sacrifice our child's well-being to meet an ideal, but it's also okay if you don't want to use formula. It is okay to say, breastfeeding is really important to me. I want to do everything I can to make this work, or I need help. You are allowed to care. You are allowed to want to give your baby breast milk. And even if people around you don't get it, even if you end up combo feeding, even if you use formula sometimes, you are not less of a mother for wanting this. It still surprises me how often I hear mothers on calls that we do for applications into our program where I feel like they're even scared to admit to themselves how much they really want this, because part of a common coping mechanism is if I don't set a goal or have an expectation in my mind, I can't fail because I didn't say I wanted this. If I admit to myself, this is actually really important to me, and then I don't get there, that's going to make me feel even worse. So what I'm seeing is a lot of moms not even being willing to admit to themselves how important this is. If you don't really care, that's totally fine too. Like there's a lot of different ways to feed a baby nowadays, and I'm grateful that we have so many choices. But I just want to say, you can say out loud that breast milk is important to you, and you can set a goal in your mind and you can work to get there. In fact, I think it's worse when we try and avoid setting goals or avoid saying what we really want and then kind of just shooting in the dark and going willy-nilly and doing whatever, and then looking back and being like, I wish I could have just said how important that was and got help. You know what I mean? Versus I said how much I wanted it and I didn't quite get there. I think that is better than just avoiding this conversation, even in our own minds. I've worked with so many women at this point with different stories, and I love that. Monica was an OBGYN. She pumped between surgeries with a wearable pump. Some days she only got a few ounces, but those ounces mattered, and she actually hit her 1-year goal by doing what worked for her. I was so proud of her. Laura panicked when her output suddenly dropped. It actually wasn't her supply though, it was a pump valve, and that was a really fun and easy fix, which I always love to see. Kendall was combo feeding her twins while working shifts, and she told me, even if it's 50%, 20%, it still matters to me. Her determination to give her babies some breast milk was amazing, and she wasn't able to do 100% for her twins, but she was able to maintain about 50% for a long time, and I was so proud of her for that. And being okay with it mentally and saying, this is what I have, I'm doing everything I can, I've hired the best help, and this is what it is. What an incredible mindset to be in. And then there's Nadia. Nadia was so afraid of formula that she actually delayed supplementing even when her twin babies were not gaining weight well. She delayed for a long time. And she had told me at one point, I thought I had to figure this out on my own. We actually worked together for a while, and she still was very against formula. It took quite a while for her to kind of come to the terms that her little babies needed a bottle of formula every day. And we just did a video on combo feeding, which I'll link down below for you as well, kind of talking about how to do that, why we do that, how to be okay with doing that if that's part of your story. But once she was able to introduce just enough formula safely, she actually started to see her twins thrive, and she kept breastfeeding for months longer than she expected. So in that scenario, her strong desire to give breast milk actually hindered her twins' development. It was not fun to watch, and it took a lot to kind of work through that. So we definitely have the extremes on all of these sides here. But I built our coaching program for moms like Nadia because of moms like me, right? Because breastfeeding and pumping are not easy, and they are not the same skill, and especially not easy when you go back to work and no one tells you how emotional it can be. I didn't want to create just another checklist or schedule. I wanted to create a space where your feelings mattered, where your goals were respected, where just give formula wasn't the default answer unless it was the right one for you. Our Pumping for Working Moms coaching program that I built for moms like me will help you pump efficiently and effectively, protect your milk supply even through chaos, and feel calm and control in your feeding journey, which are all things that I didn't have and I want you to have. Whether you want to breastfeed for a year, combo feed from day one, or just survive the first 3 months, I'm here for it and for you. There is no perfect way to mother. There is no single right way to feed your baby. We all have different support systems, circumstances, health conditions, and babies. But you deserve to feed your baby in a way that feels right for you, with guidance, with support, without shame, If that's breastfeeding, I'm here for you. If that's combo feeding, I'm here with you too. If you're still figuring it out and still not quite sure, I'm here for that as well. Let's figure it out together. If you want to give breastfeeding your best shot, especially while being a career-driven working mom, I'd love to walk that path with you. Our program is built to give you the tools, strategy, and peace of mind to pump efficiently, stay in control, and feed your baby on your own terms. There's a link in the description to apply to come and chat with me and my team. We can also help you work through some of these thoughts and ideas on a free call. My enrollment coaches are absolutely amazing. They are trained to talk you through this, help you unwind some of these things in your mind. What do you actually want? What works best for you in your life right now? What barriers and obstacles are you facing? And is it possible to work through them? They can walk through that with you and then let you know if our program is a good fit for you. We don't accept everyone that applies because we want to make sure that we actually have what you need, right? If you're going to invest in long-term coaching, then we want to make sure that you're actually going to get the results that you need. So we can help you do that. And we would love to chat with you and hear your story. If this video made you feel seen, maybe consider sharing it with another mom who might need to hear this too. Or share your story with us in the comments. We're all in this together. I just want to leave you with permission to want what you want and not be afraid of that. Set a goal. Say it out loud. And if formula is not what you want, that's okay. If you're fine with adding it in, that's okay too. I wish someone had told me that and given me permission to really care, and also given me the support and tools to make it work. That's why I became a lactation consultant. That's why I became a coach. That's why I specialized in pumping. I want you to have that too. I'm going to leave you with my favorite Brené Brown quote. I think I've used this on a video before because it's my absolute favorite. But you don't have to do it all alone. You were never meant to. Thanks for being here. Thanks for letting me share some of my more personal thoughts and story with you. If you need help or reach out, I'm here. Happy pumping.